hope you're all well. So I am in a different room, you might notice, although you probably won't because of my desk space is the same. But I've moved from upstairs to downstairs because this room is a bigger space, got better lighting, etc. And I also thought I'd try a different format with me down in the little corner. So hope I'm not too distracted, and I do hope I am not what we call here in the UK gurning. If you don't know what that is, it's when you pull funny faces. So just to sort of let everybody know, I might have my tongue sticking out or things like that. So okay, so we've gone through our little book, and unfortunately I was thinking it's quite stitch heavy, it's quite fabric heavy. I think I'm going to make it a little bit less crowded this week. So I'm a bit concerned that one or two people are saying that you can't see me and what I'm doing, but I'm looking on my screen and it looks fine from this angle, but obviously once it's edited and everything I'll be able to see better. So what I'm going to do today is, on my travels in my sort of in this map or this journey, I pass a tea shop, and it's a beautiful little tea shop. My daughter had her wedding there, so and I just thought I think I'll do a teacup and saucer and possibly a teapot, but I'm just going to do it in one colour, and I'm just going to try and, where's that thread coming from? There, let's get a bit of, sorry, I'm just going to try and make sure that I pull the right thread up because it's a new ball. Now these are SCHEEPJES candy floss, and we've just had these brand new in the shop. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you'll have seen. So this shade is 528, and I can't remember what the shade is, but it's like a sage green colour. But anyway, and that's what I'm going to use. Hopefully you'll see it. Yeah. So I thought I'd just do a teacup and saucer maybe, and a teapot, and I'm using a heat erase pen, so if I cock it up, so let's do the teacups first. I mean, I'm just sort of going with something, it doesn't have to be anything fantastic, I'm no artist. And I don't think it matters anyway. Maybe that needs to be a bit flatter there, not so fat in the old bit. I'll just come down a little bit with the sorcerers, and I'll probably have a bit of a curve going on. Okay, I think that might be okay. Oh, handle. Always good to have a handle. Maybe a little curly handle going on. And I might even put a little design on there, we'll see. And so then I'm going to want to have a teapot. So, teapot lid. And do a big, if I get this wrong it's not too problem, I'll plug my little iron in, and a spout. That is not very good. Is it? It's okay. The handle might be a bit. Yeah. Okay. You might be an absolutely wonderful artist, obviously. I've got to put that on the top. So, right, that'll be great. And I'm just going to do a teacup and saucer and a teapot. And that's all I'm going to do on this. And I am going to go, like I say, I'm using this candy floss, Sheepy's candy floss. It's new in our shop. A shameless plug for the shop, I know. I'm going to just using a, I think I'll have a, I like a chenille needle. I like chenilles because the eyes are longer and bigger, so I can see what I'm doing. I know a lot of people use the embroidery, an embroidery needle, but for me they're a little bit too fine, especially if you're using something like this, which is probably about, I'd want to say around about a size 10 in a PEARLE cotton. This is very much in that sort of that ilk. Yeah, 100% organic mercerized cotton, and it feels beautiful. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the outline in a stem stitch. Which way am I going? Going this way. And if you're not familiar with stem stitch, it's like you take a little stitch, just make sure you can see me. You take a little stitch and you come up, oops, next to the stitch you just did where you went down. That makes sense. And then you come, make sure you're keeping your thread to the same side, otherwise it starts to be, you can make these as big or as small as you like. So feel like I needed I've trapped my finger in, you know, the angle poise lamps. I trapped my finger in the spring bit. This finger, oh my gosh, I didn't half squeal, and it is just where my pad is on my the tip of my finger to push my needle through, of course, because I was looking for lamps, lighting and all that kind of thing for this room. So I've got a big overhead light, but the lights, the bulbs in that light were making the screen go fuzzy. So I then had a few issues, let's just put it that way, but the technician, Harvey, the Sun and Air, has rigged me up with a bit of a Heath Robinson job for now, and I'm going to have to have a little look, get some things organised for this weekend when I'm going to do some more filming. So I've not been filming for a couple of weeks or a week or so because I've been so upside down with the room. Everything's come out of one room and gone into another. Everything that was in this room, this was the dining room, so everything that was in this room, or more or less everything, came out and went upstairs, and everything in the upstairs room has sort of been sorted through, and what's essential brought down here, and non-essential is going to be stored in that room still. Okay, so gone all the way round. And the beautiful thing about stem stitches, it lends itself really well to going around corners. Of course, you can do this in a back stitch, or you can just do it in a running stitch. Let's just start here. So yeah, I've got quite a job on. So I've not been, and we've been to Ireland to the wonderful Pauline Kiernan Art to do one of our workshops, my slow stitch fox workshop. That was absolutely amazing. Really, really, really lovely. Beautiful weather, beautiful place. Pauline's, if you don't follow Pauline on Instagram, she's Pauline Kiernan, textile artist, I think. Go and have a look at her beautiful work. She's sort of machine embroidery, that kind of a thing. She's got some beautiful work. I'm just going to come down there, come back up. When I finish stitching this, I'm going to get the iron. I've got a little mini iron. I'll plug it in and get rid of the pen. If you haven't got a friction pen or a heat erase pen, a water erasable soluble pen will do, or just an ordinary pencil. But if you're doing it in ordinary pencil, just remember to sort of use a very light shade of grey. You know, an HB pencil will be perfect, and a thinner line so you can hide your thread. Your thread can hide the markings because it won't come off. Sweet. I'm surprised Reggie's not come because he's, I don't know if you can see in the background to which side are we? Which side's which? That side. That side. Sorry. That side is a big window seat and Reggie loves to sit in that and watch the world go by. Especially in the morning when the sun's coming in through it. Just untwist that. The only thing with the cotton pearlays is they twist as you're going through the through your work, through the fabric. They will twist and twist even more. Ooh. So I've got to the end of that. Looks okay. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do a little bit of a French knot. Well, not a little bit, a French knot. I don't know why I sometimes say a little bit of a French knot. French knot just to make a little bit of an end finial on the handle. And I'm actually going to do back stitch on this. Just tiny little stitches. When you're going around a curve with back stitch, make sure your stitches are quite small, otherwise you'll end up with, like, as I call it, calculator writing numbers if your stitches are too big. Sort of having to try and teach Reggie not to keep barking just at people getting off the bus or people coming through the kissing gate. It's quite a task, because little doggies tend to like to make people know they're there, don't they? We've had a broken heating boiler for the last few days, and boy has it been cold, even though it's been sort of 8 degrees here. That's Celsius, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. At night it's dropped really cold, and of course if you've not got the heating on, it's I've not been able to stitch because my fingers have been that cold. So this is the first day. The plumber's been to fix it, and this is the first day I've really got into the room to be able to stitch. I'm doing my usual favourite, getting to the very end of the thread. And again, I'm talking, aren't I? I'm chatting away, and guess what? My messages are pinging. Honestly, I never get messages, but all of a sudden, as soon as I start to film, either I get lots and lots of messages, or Gertrude comes, and she's not here at the minute. I did spy her upstairs in her little throne above where I used to film, so she might not come and visit so often, which would be a shame. Right, I'm going to finish that piece of thread off. I'm just going to weave up and down and back again. You can tie a knot, you do whatever is your thing. I don't know where my alt is. Showing the ladies, I put little jam jars out on the table at the workshop we've done in Ireland, and was showing the ladies what they were for. Lots of them had not heard of it, which is unusual. And there's some very, very talented ladies there, I have to say. Quilters and patchwork makers, patchworkers, I don't know, patchwork, I don't know what that anyway, they were very, very talented. So I'm going to come round here, and whenever I do a workshop, I sort of usually have around about 8 to 10 participants, and in the morning we're all sort of jollily getting along, but we have a bit of lunch, and then things start to go awry. Because I don't know about you, but you know, you have a bit of lunch and you just want to have a snooze, don't you? So things start to get a little bit, and then the giggles start. And yeah, we had a wonderful group of giggly ladies. It was fab. It's just so lovely. And I think because the weather was so good as well, we were able to sort of sit outside and have a little chat and a cuppa over there. But of course I've come back to old Blighty, and the weather's grim. Grim, grim, grim. Hope the camera's not in the way too much, by the way, but there's nowhere else I can sort of have it. because this webcam hasn't got a zoom, hasn't got the ability to zoom, you have to move it up and down, which is a bit rubbish. But one day maybe I'll be able to invest in a camera that I can zoom in and out. Maybe. Oh, just stuck my pen in there. There's one lady on the workshop at the weekend who was a complete novice at hand stitching. So, and she did really well. But as I always say, and if you've watched my little intro videos about my workshops, I tend to use them like a sampler and practice my stitching on different new stitches on, because you can't really see them. You can see them, but you can't see if you've made a mistake, or nobody would know if you're making a mistake, because that's the beauty of slow stitching, of course. It's not like embroidery per se, where it's the embroidery that's on show. It's usually the fabrics and the embellishments that you use with the slow stitch that are the centre stage. And I always think if I'm using a scrappy fabric, I'm going to put a little bit on that. Yeah, if I'm using a scrappy fabric, I like it to be as scrappy as I possibly can. I like it to be frayed. I think you've picked up on that over the course of what I've been doing. Just going to come in here and do a few stitches, and I'm just going to do some straight stitches, some back stitch, nothing grand. Went to a textile exhibition while we were in Ireland, in, I want to say it was the town of Bray, B-R-A-Y. Oh my, there were some fabulous pieces on display. Gosh, some absolutely stunning, just felted work, embroidery, machine embroidery, all kinds of different mediums. Really lovely. And I always think about going to exhibitions that I always think, oh, my work, my personal work is not anything like as good, but then, you know, I think you have that imposter syndrome, don't you? Where you probably think you're not quite good enough, but you definitely are. And I'm terrible with that. Right, I think I'm going to put a little flower on the front, maybe. I'm just going to do some. I'm just going to do simple lazy daisies. And lazy daisy is just a detached chain. I'm eating my hair. Try not to, if you're doing a detached chain, try not to pull them too tight, otherwise you won't have the flower petal shape. Right, I think I can just about get away with going round and finishing off the daisies, and then I'll have to have another piece of thread. Oh, oh. I was thinking the other day when I was stitching about this, you could actually do them on a patch and then sew them onto it if you want to, rather than have it like I'm doing and having to, or you can just do one big plain sheet like a proper map, I suppose. I'll just get one more. In and down, and I'll just fasten it off. You can see what I'm doing, can't you? See that I'm just doing a kind of a black work, red work kind of vibe, white work kind of vibe. Not quite as sort of intricate as some of those, but you can see the kind of vibe I'm going for. Vibe. That looks cute. I'm just gonna, I'll do this and then I will plug the iron in. I won't do it while I'm stitching because I'll end up burning myself. I just want to have a little look at this teapot spout. Feel like that's got to come down a bit. There. Been thinking about it while I've been doing the stitches. I'm going to go round the outside in. Again, I'm just going to do stem stitch. I was fretting before I started filming because I was thinking, oh, which glasses shall I wear? What shall I, you know, my hair looks a mess, my this, my that, my but Harvey said to me, Mum, if you're just in the corner, don't worry about it, and don't think people are going to be too looking at you. They're going to be looking at what you're sewing. But like I say, I don't know, I was kind of getting a little bit anxious about it. But I knew that one or two people had mentioned it to me, saying that they really like this kind of thing where they can see people rather than just the stitching. So I thought I'd give it a whirl. And please let me know, be kind, if you prefer this or you prefer me the other way, not being able to see me. The only thing is you can't sort of scratch. I do scratch my nose and other things, not other things, that sounded, but you know, scratch your nose and twitter about. I'm going to go down there because I want to go around the dip. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. Okay. sometimes, and I'm sure there's some of you out there, I'm stitching along and I've not taken a blind bit of notice what's going on the back, and I've got big knots on the back, but it's not too bad for this piece because you won't see, but some people like the back of it to be as neat as the front of it, and I'm not one of those. Which is a good job, really. Oh, we're going. Stretch you out a bit. I tend to, with a stem stitch, I kind of put my thread to the outside of the curve, if you can see what I mean. I'm sort of getting my bit of thread, I'm holding it to the curve, the outside rather than the inside of the curve, so it helps it to make that curved shape. I feel like I'm going to stop there and go up the spout. What do we think? Yes, let's do that, Rach. Just going to come up. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. I do love embroidery. I think it was back in the first week or something like that that I was saying I'm not feeling I'm not feeling, I'd lost my sojo and things like that, but you know, when I sit and start to sew, I really do start to, I don't know, it's like going for a good long walk. Everything gets, you sort of, all your tensions go, and that's how I feel when I'm stitching. And of course, stitching in a room by yourself or stitching with lots of people, there's two different kind of things going on there, isn't there? You know, when you have like a group of people all stitching and all nattering, sharing their experiences, sharing their work, it's a completely different kind of feeling to stitching by oneself. But of course I don't feel like I'm stitching by myself because I'm sharing my time with you. So I've kept my thread, talking about the curve, I've kept my thread on the outside, sort of the outside of the curve. I'm calling that the inside and that's the outside, so I've kept my thread that on this side, but I'm sort of coming down onto a different curve, so I am going to swap over and there might be some gasps, but you won't tell, it's our secret. Also gives it texture for me. My personal kind of way. I do always say when I'm teaching, you know, it's all about the feelings that you have and how you're working with your needle and thread and your fabric, not about what I'm telling you to do. So that's what I always try and sort of convey that when I'm teaching. It's your work, your kind of interpretation of everything, the stitch. Will I get around that bit with this little tiny bit of thread? Come on, let's see. I probably need to do 2 pieces anyway. What do we think? Am I going to do it? Might just eke it. Might just eke it out. And I have left. I was going to do something and oh no, it's behind me. Or is it underneath? It's underneath. Wonderful. Might just do another. Just going to finish that one off. Might just do another row. Went off on a bit of a tangent, wondering where something was. I'll show you when I've done what I mean, what I'm looking for. In my head, and my head's rummaging around this room because obviously had a bit of a move around, so not quite au fait where everything is at this moment in time. And the upstairs room is just, oh my gosh, yeah, it's all over the place. I'm climbing over boxes and things, and you'll notice there's a doll's house. That's got to go up there. That's half. That's a renovation one. Somebody gave me that. And I've sort of started to renovate it. But I was given another one. That was about 18 months ago, I think that one was given to me. Probably not even that. But I was given another one the other week. And I can never say no when I really haven't got the room for them. I was wondering whether or not I need to do it. No, I don't. I don't need to do that. Let's just fasten that off. I don't like to carry my threads across my work. That's one thing I don't like to do. I think it just, especially if you're using a lighter fabric, it tends to, you can see through them. Right, we're going to go up the handle, ooh, the lights are flashing. Please don't give up. Don't give up the ghost. I think that's the job for the weekend, is to source some better lighting. Oops, I'm going off camera. thing is when you start getting wrapped around other things. Because I didn't give myself enough space, did I? Sort of went a bit mad. Plonk you down there. I'm going to go round that, back that way. You might be doing this just in one flat thing in a hoop, which is great, but obviously I will say always turn your work. Don't struggle like this, you know, it's turn your work around. There's no right way up and wrong way to hold it. Make life easy for yourself. The only thing with being in this room is I feel like it's a bit noisier than the room at the back of the house, because we can hear people driving through the village. So I'm hoping that you can't hear. I'm hoping that it's sort of muffled. Ooh. I'm wondering. I'm going to swap my thread now. This thread's beautiful. It's very soft. It's softer than an actual, like a DMC PEARLE. I feel it's like it's very much erring on a silk kind of feel. I've not used it before today really. I used some, I have got a little bit of some, but I've not used it as on a project properly, because it sort of got delivered and then we were off to Ireland, so I'd not really got the chance to use it, but I just had a little practice run with it the other day, well a few weeks ago, but I have to say it is very soft. It's got a bit of a sheen on it, which you probably can't see. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to do like a bit of satin stitch with the teapot lid knob bit. Let's come back up. Rather than carry my thread, I do try. Have I said this already? I think I have, haven't I? Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. Oh dear. So I'm just going to do a rough satin stitch. Or a filler stitch, whatever you feel like you can call it. I don't want it to look too perfect, that's the thing. Here we are. And shall I do I think I'll do a pattern on there as well. Let's just finish that off. I'm going to say, guys, that if you do enjoy watching the videos, I do really appreciate giving, you know, when you give me the thumbs up, or better still, write in the comments, because it sort of gets YouTube to push things out more to other people to see. So it does sort of work really well. And I'm just going to do a big lazy daisy. I think, yeah, it does work really well if you comment. I think the more comments, the better it sort of pushes it out, even if it's just a love this. You know what I mean? It sort of kind of shares it a bit more. And that's obviously all wonderful stuff. Same as like at the beginning with the ads, you know, it really helps us if you watch them and don't skip them, because that's where the revenue comes from, the ads. So if you're going to watch me, you know, get me running, and then set me running, and then go and get yourself a cup of tea while the ads are on. Don't skip. I used to be one of those, you know, I'll skip that. And then somebody said to me, you know, like the little people like me and one or two others on here that I follow and subscribe to, they need the ads to run to the whole thing to get a little bit of tiny little bit of revenue from it. And so she sort of just said to me, you know, if you go and make yourself a cup of tea or get yourself a biscuit or something while you're waiting for the ad to run. But I've sort of opted to not have ads running through the beginning of through the middles of mine. But whether that's working or not, I don't know, I have to say. But I know one or two people have like an ad break in, but I don't want that. So yeah, subscribe as well. That's always good. That always puts you know, push it. Like I say, it's all about an algorithm. I have no idea. I'm talking about things that I've not got a clue about, but I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that know what I mean. But yeah, it's like liking and sharing things, isn't it, on Facebook, and of course that, and Instagram and things like that. That helps you get seen. Which is why I'm here, really, to get seen. Because I think although I do lots of in-person workshops, and obviously people pay to come along to those, etc., this kind of thing is the way forward, apparently. And I can reach people in different countries, whereas I wouldn't be able to do an in-person workshop with you across the pond, unfortunately. Well, maybe one day, who knows. I don't think it'd, I wouldn't say no. Right, I'm going to plug the little mini iron in, and while I wait put that to heat up. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to do. Let me just grab my basket. Oops, I'm bashing things about. I don't need my right. What have we got? Is that indigo? I feel like that's the colour I want. Let's have a little look. That's a green. Oh, Payne's grey. Maybe a Payne's grey or an indigo. Oh, just dropped something on the floor. I'll have to have a look. Harvey was telling me he was. As I say, we've been away to Ireland, Heather and myself, and we left Harvey here and Hope, Heather's wife, and Harvey he'd brought all his equipment down from up inside his cave here down into this room for the few days that I've been away, because Reggie tends to get a little bit fretful, so I'll just make sure that's on. So he said, I'll bring down my computer equipment and then he won't be sitting down here looking round for you, wondering where his granny is. So that was, do you know, I've forgotten where that story was going. Oh yeah. And he said, oh my gosh, the amount of pins and needles I got stuck in my socks and toes while I've been walking around. I suppose I'm used to it. I see them and I think, oh, I know I've dropped one, so I have to kind of have a little look. Oh, well, that looks quite sweet. Not sure about this bit, so hence why I'm getting these out. So Payne's grey. These are watercolour pencils. And I do love a watercolour pencil, but if you use, I'm going to go indigo, I think. If you use them and just do a little line where you want a shadow, I'm going to I took these with me to France. This is my like bit of everything in there. And my brother, I said, oh, these are watercolour pencils, and my brother did this, we'd been doing some drawings, and he did this little thing where when we were kids, he sort of, because we didn't know what watercolour pencils were, we thought that you dipped them in the water and then painted with them. So he was doing that, and I showed him, I haven't got any water, so I don't want to sort of go, I showed him that was that you drew on it and then you dabbed your paintbrush and then and that's how they work. It was mind blown. So yeah, I will get a bit of water and fade this in, just give it a bit of shadow and just give it a little bit of, that's not very sharp, so I'm just going to go a bit in here and a bit in there. Anywhere where you think, oh, there might be a bit of shadow needed, and I just want a bit of tea, or the suggestion of tea in there, a bit under here. I'm just going to pop and get some water and then I can show you what I mean. Have a 2 seconds. I'm back. So yeah, if you sort of dip your brush in, just wet it slightly, and I need a thicker brush actually. This will start to fade across. I need a thicker brush. That's not doing what I want it to do. Sorry, you can't see me rummaging I'm looking for, where are you? Sort of a, here we are. That's what I'm looking for. They've all got a bit of a curve on because they've been sat in this pencil case. So one with that you can get more water on, load more water on. But it'll start to go and run out. Works really well on paper, obviously, because that's what they're designed for, but works equally as well on fabric. But these obviously won't be colour fast. If they wash, they'll disappear if you wash them. So this is just for, so give it a little rub and it'll start to move your paint around, your colour, your pigment, and that's it. I'll let that dry and I'll take a couple of pictures when that is dry. As I say, if you really enjoyed it, or if you enjoyed it just a little bit, give me the thumbs up, that's always wonderful. And I'll hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.